All right. Welcome everybody to Sandwich Talk. I am your host, Carlos Parisi. Let's just talk about me for a second. Hi, this is me. This is Mike. I am the host of this show that I started doing as a podcast about a couple of years ago. You can find it by just going onto Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play, however you listen to podcasts, and it's just called Sandwich Talk. But this version of this show is a YouTube show, which you're watching right now, where I get to make a sandwich with a friend from my kitchen, and then they make one from their kitchen. Usually a friend from here in the Detroit community, whether it's a food community, music community, art community, it doesn't matter. It's just a cool person that I've been friends with, and I'm happy to say that I've gotten to catch up with a lot of really cool people in doing this, and we get to make food and eat food together, which is really, at the end of the day, the only thing that I like to do is eat. Yes. I'm pretty sure that's it. Anyway, today's no exception. I get to hang out with a really cool person that has done a lot for not just the community, not just the arts community, but also just for me personally. I think he's given me an opportunity to have a home and another outlet for my own personal creativity amongst so many other people that you can talk to. And that person is Mike McGettigan. Really happy to have him on the show. Welcome to the show, Mike.
Hey, guys. Thanks, Carlos. I'm very excited. This is going to be fun.
Dude, for sure. I've told you to come on the show several times when guests have canceled. And, and now I'm very happy to say that you're on the show, which is awesome, man. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. I'm happy that I could finally do it. It worked out now.
Dude, same. I don't know. Everything that you've done personally with the Ant over the years, like I really kind of look up to you and some of the older guard at the Ant that's, kind of created this beautiful space for us. But for I know just a little bit about you, but if you want to give us a rundown of like how you started with the Ant, like who you are, what you do.
So back in 1997, that's when I was freshly divorced with a small young kid, and I was kind of like, man, what am I going to do with my life? Everything I knew is completely weird and wrong right now. So I don't even know what's going on. So I decided after a couple of years of just messing around and like not really figuring out what to do, a friend of mine's like, hey, take some improv classes at the Second City. And I was like, cool. I've always loved, comedy, and huge comedy fan. And so I started working at the Second City and got understudy out there, and then wound up working my way up to teacher and then performer on the stage and stuff like that. And that is what led me to the Planet Ant. One of my very first classes at the Second City, I found like a small group of folks that were as passionate about improv and comedy as I was. And we decided, I set up an improv night, and I was like, where am I going to do this thing? And my dad had been playing open mics. He was a musician and stuff. And so I was like, where am I going to do this thing? So I find this little hole in the wall bar that my dad has done a couple shows at. And I asked the guy, hey, what do you think about doing like an improv night at this bar? And he's like, sure, I guess. And I'm like, what, really? In my head, I'm like, all I had to do was ask. So I'm like, okay. And so we start doing the show. The very first one I gather the folks, there's like nobody there, nobody to watch it at all, as it goes for a first show. And at the end of the show, we just finally wrap up, and in walks this guy, and he's like, hey, I read about your show on, I think it was was it MySpace or something? I can't even remember. I think I made print out flyers at that point back in the old days, And
he walks. You could get word out back then was just a print out flyer.
Yeah, I think that's really what it was, is just printing stuff out on a Xerox. I was like 5 cents a sheet, or something stupid like that. But anyways, in walks this guy who since became a good friend of mine, Mark Mikula, and he walks in and he's like, it's cool you guys are doing this here, but the place that we were doing it at was like right down the street from the Ant. And on top of it, the night that I chose to do the improv show was Monday night. Wow. And I had no idea at that point about the Planet Ant. But I wandered over there that like next Monday, and we started watching improv over there. And that's where I met all these awesome folks out there, like Margaret and Dave and Lauren and like, just tons and tons of like some of the funniest folks in Metro Detroit, and some of the funniest folks that actually like no longer live in Metro Detroit, like Tim Robinson or Sam Richardson, those folks, and worked with them a lot. And then as, after getting involved at the Ant, I pretty much just, it kind of like took over my life a bit. And I just wound up doing a lot of comedy. I wrote a bunch of plays, won awards for those in Detroit. Did zillions of improv shows and all sorts of things, and honed my craft at the Ant. And one of the things I always loved about the Ant was that it's like, you do the thing that you learn there. You have to do the thing that you're learning. There's no like sitting around and just like going over a book and like figuring out, oh, there's the theory of improv. No, you do the thing, and I don't know if I ever would have been a writer or a performer if it wasn't for the way that a lot of these classes that I took and these experiences that I went through really informed, my sensibilities about how you gotta like do the thing, right? You gotta just jump into it, and it kind of changed my life completely. And through the years, I mean, it's been like, God, it has been like about 20 some years now that I've been going to the Ant, which is just wild to me. But that, that spot in Hamtramck, I mean, it's just, it's always been a huge part of my life. I mean, I do remember a time, long time ago, driving by it in Hamtramck and seeing that purple building and going, I wonder what goes on in there. I had no idea. I mean, I do remember that. Wow. And now I'm the director of the training center over at the Planet Ant. I love what you said, Carlos, because I really, really, really love to help people find their voice, express themselves, and get to do stuff that they want to do. And I think that, it's really hard to give people a platform to share their voice without it devolving into some capitalism nonsense. You know what I mean? And to me, it's really important that people are able to express themselves, do some comedy, do some original stuff. I'm also a big fan of just regular live straight theater as well. And I've seen a lot of that at the Ant throughout the years too. It's just an amazing community to me that has completely changed the course of my life. And I love working for this place. Yeah,
I can't agree with you more. I mean, I'm very fortunate for the opportunity that the Ant has given me. I mean, the multiple opportunities. For me personally, it's just like one thing that like you and Darren and a handful of the other people there do is that you not necessarily encourage us to be as open and as creative as possible, but that you can read on a person. If you're going to be serious and you want to do something, if you're going to do it, and you make sure that you push people towards that direction to do. And that's the thing that you can see clearly about the Ant is that every single thing that's gone on with the Ant, whether it's an event there, writing sketch, being a part of, a new show that's going on, or like a weekly something or other, or like improv or improv, it doesn't matter. Everything is done because the people there are told that it's theirs. They're given ownership of it.
And that's a super important thing about it too. Like, I always want people to feel that ownership over their own creations. It's like we are told what to do on a daily basis so often. Man, you need to express yourself. You need to get out of yourself what is important. We need that in our lives. Life shouldn't be about following orders or going to a corporate job, which that didn't stick for me too well. I can't handle that very well.
You and me both, and that's why I'm here in my kitchen making a sandwich for people for the internet.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And what a much better experience than a lot of other ways that you could go with.
Hopefully, this will end up paying the bills someday. Who knows?
Hey, that'd be great, right? Hell yeah. I don't want to be rich. I don't want to be famous. I just want to do my thing and pay my bills.
Yeah, that's it. I just want to pay my bills. I'm so happy that you're on the show. I know we've talked a lot in the past about the different things that have gone on with the Ant over the last few years specifically, but then even more so just recently with everything that's happened with COVID. I mean, before this, there was a show or something going on at one of the three buildings almost every single night.
Yeah,
and it was during the day too, whether it was classes or things going on at the bar, live music, some show that you've never seen before, but you could walk in and there's something going on. And sometimes you had to pay for a larger thing. Most of the time it's free, because why? It's getting back to the community, and it's giving people that are, creatives or artists or any kind of content creator a voice or an opportunity to express themselves. And that's kind of really what the biggest thing is that you see that this is more for the community, by the community. And,
yeah, absolutely. And it's for and by. You're absolutely right.
And right now with COVID, things have changed. Obviously, we can't go to places. We can't do things right now anymore. And the way that the Ant has then adapted by giving people like myself the opportunity to do a show, utilizing the YouTube channel, Twitch, any other live stream, that's huge. What else has the Ant done to adapt to the situation from your perspective?
Well, I mean, we're still in the process. I mean, it's like it's not something that's like, even anywhere near. I mean, I would never consider it complete. Like, what are we? What have we done? I mean, it's like it's a constant process of trying to do more to make people feel connected. You know what I mean? Like, that's one of the biggest things about the Ant is the community. People go to college for a lot of different reasons, and a lot of the reasons that people go to college is basically to find a community that can kind of help bolster what they want to do with their lives, and then they connect with a bunch of other people that are like-minded. I mean, that's kind of what we're focused on here. And so COVID arrived, and we immediately were like taking it as serious as possible, and I had been up on the news for COVID, like as it was developing and spreading across Europe. And it was kind of like a terrifying thing. Like, what the hell's going on? What are we going to do about this? And so we had multiple shows going on at that time, and we wound up having to cancel everything. And it was kind of a fly by the seat of your pants decision before any official thing was mentioned, like, oh, you guys better, not do this anymore. I mean, we didn't wait for somebody to tell us that we couldn't do it. We were like, yeah, unfortunately, we're going to have to shut this down.
It sucked, dude. It sucked so much. Because, at that time, I was doing, along with my my crew of folk, we were doing Saturday nights, or at least to start doing every Saturday night. And then it was just like, all right, cool. Well, I know that we got you involved in doing this, and now we have to take it away. And I was
Oh, it was so sad. I was the director for both of the shows that were in the black box at that time. One was a student production, and one was written by Alan Stakowitz, Glamway. And both of those shows had to get cut short because of COVID. And that was heartbreaking for the people involved, all of us involved.
Yeah.
It was a really tough thing to figure out. And then, those first few weeks, first few months of everything, it was like, man, it's hard to even figure out what to do as far as like, how long is this going to last? Everything seems so up in the air, But to me, one of the biggest things was, well, we have the internet. And I've always been a big tech guy. I used to do that for a living for a while. I used to teach senior citizens how to use computers. Man, the compliments I would get would always be like, young man, you have the patience of Job. Oh, God. But that experience really taught me a lot about teaching, about the way that we learn information, the way that we process new skills, the emotions that we go through when we're getting into different kinds of skills and learning new skill sets. And, that whole experience I did it for probably about 7-8 years or something like that. It was really valuable. And I met a lot of incredible people and wound up, I had my own business where I was going to repair computers and doing a lot of tech stuff, or even just giving advice or like installations for people. A lot of times it was just removing malware with a program and feeling bad about charging money. But realizing that a lot of the time it was like, they have no idea what to do. Somebody's got to help them. And I was charging like way less than Best Buy. So I didn't feel that bad, I guess.
The age-old IT solution of, did you try turning it off and on again?
Yeah, you wouldn't believe how often that is really the solution. It's so true. It's so true. but yeah, I mean, that was I think that was an incredibly great experience, doing that and teaching senior citizens how to use their computers. And so, like, a lot of that helped inform what I was like pushing for. I also had started a live podcast with my friend Dustin, or Dustin started it, I should say. And that was my goal to start that. It wasn't even on the Ant channel. We're still doing it too, but for me, it's more of an experience to like learn the technology involved, learn how it works, learn how presentation on camera is different from on stage, and what kinds of things you have to be aware of. And, I had also done a lot of stuff with video previously before as well. My friend of mine and I, Mike Eshak, did a web series that caught on pretty good for a little while. And, did some short films. We had like a weekly movie thing where we did stuff. But the technology now is at a point where it's just, I mean, it's nuts that my phone right now is attached to a tripod in my spice cabinet. And then I have an external battery just in case the charge gets low. Wow. I mean, and we're online right now, and we're recording this thing, and we're making sandwiches together. I mean, that's incredible, kind of, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, what choice do we have? If we want to be safe and not be idiots about this thing, like, we got to do something. We got to keep this community going. And so, we decided to start doing live video stream stuff. And yeah, you were one of the early adopters of our little family. And we have several other shows on the network, and we're looking for more. And we have a call for submissions out there as well. And we're looking for a lot of diverse and interesting people to put on our channels. And right now there's several shows on there that you can catch. There's pretty much something going on all the time. And on top of it, we're not looking to end this once COVID's done. I mean, we're looking to expand our digital presence as well as come back to our stages, and do more live stuff. But we're looking to integrate all of that, which is something I've always felt like would be such a slam dunk for us, is integrating the tech, the video, all of that into our live stage stuff, and doing things that are like, like a live sitcom, for example, like a Cheers or like something like that, where you have a set that looks like a real place, and you do a weekly, or I don't know the frequency, what we can handle with our budgets that are tiny, but
I'd be so down to do that. That'd be so much. I miss being on stage, performing in front of people. Like,
me too, man. Me too.
What sucks about this show is that I say things on this show that I think are funny, and like, I don't hear anybody laughing.
You'll hear me when I'm on the show.
Yeah. But like, other than that, it's just like, yeah, I'll say a joke. It didn't land. Who did? Because it did. I don't know.
I know.
To. My fault. It's just the same way like when Rodney Dangerfield filmed Caddyshack. He's up there and he's just ripping everything. And he goes, okay, cut. What the hell is going on? Am I not funny? And they're like, no, Rodney, we're not allowed to laugh. Like, we're filming a movie. And he goes, oh, I didn't get it.
That's hilarious. Rodney Dangerfield was an interesting guy. He was a strange guy. Very interesting.
Yeah, super strange guy. He really honed his craft towards the end of his career. I mean,
he really did.
The last like 20, 30 years of his career were really just like punchy, incredible lines. But at the beginning of his career, if you look at like his original stand-up, it was a lot more removed than what that is today, because it was really just one-liners towards the end of it. And before that, it was a lot more crafty, story, jokey type things.
Yeah, my uncle, and my uncle's like in his, he's in his 80s now. But he was like, back in the day, he used to live in Greenwich Village down in New York. And Rodney Dangerfield was one of those comedians that he always talked about as being just so hilarious in person, and it was like, my uncle got to see him like before he became like before anybody knew who he was. And I mean, I was kind of skeptical because I was young when he told me that. And then as I got older, I'm like, Rodney Dangerfield's pretty cool. He's a pretty wild guy. Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I gotta wash my hands. I'm gonna be out of camera, but I'll be able to.
You're just over here touching food, haven't even washed your hands. Do you understand it's COVID?
No, I did wash my hands, but I touched raw chicken. I need to.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. All right, so while you're doing that, I am just curious if you want to yell at the camera from where you're at.
Yeah, I can yell.
All right, cool. So do you have a favorite sandwich that you usually like eating? That's what I really want to know.
Oh man, you said favorite sandwich what?
Yeah, that you like to eat. Like, what's your favorite sandwich?
Man, it's just, I was thinking about this today, Carl. I can't even tell you how long I looked at different things online, and I was like trying to figure out like what I wanted to make, because I'm like, this is a cool opportunity to do something kind of special, you know?
Hell yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like overwhelmed by my possibilities, you know? So I'm like, what the hell am I going to do? So I kind of made like no decision, but then made a decision by making no decision by just going to Whole Foods real quick and doing a little shopping trip. And then I was like, well, a lot of great stuff here. I think I'll just get what looks good and then just kind of make something happen. So I never really had like, I mean, I love a good shawarma, you know, and I grew up in East Dearborn. So like, to me, I feel like, man, I've had so many good shawarma from so many different places. And like, I feel like, you know, lots of folks still kind of are missing out on some of the best spots for shawarma in Detroit, because I think a lot of them get kind of overblown by some of the celebrity chefs that show up and go like, oh, Alamir. They always go to Alamir. To me, Alamir is like, it's good. It's not amazing. But like Al Saha, Hamido, there's a couple others that are just killer for shawarma. That, I mean, honestly, like the first time I had it, I was just like, I was going to drive or something. And I was like, nope, I'm just sitting here and eating this thing because it is just blowing my mind. Oh, yeah. You know?
The Hamido shawarma is so good, and it's unique too.
Yeah.
The shawarma that you get at Cedarland, drive-through shawarma. You can't go wrong with that.
Yeah. I mean, that's awesome. That's such a good thing.
I grew up in the same area. So yeah, totally. I'm with you about how like everybody's like, oh yeah, Alamir. Like nothing against Alamir. Yeah. They're great. They're really good. It's a really nice restaurant. And it's super like, it's just really a nice restaurant. But when you're talking about like your best spots for X Arabic thing or Lebanese thing specifically, there's different places all around Dearborn just for that. So like, I mean, even like you want to go to like, you want to talk about the best like the best kofta, like best koftas at a certain place, or the best like shawarma sandwich, the best cheese bread, the best meat bread, the best meat pie. Totally pies. These are all at different places.
You're so exactly right. It is. They're all at different places. Yeah, the best falafel is like, to me, at Al Basha or Al Saha, I mean, which is on Warren and Dearborn.
Okay, Al Basha does the subs.
Right, Al Basha. Yeah, you know all of these things. You really did grow. You grew up in Southwest, I thought.
I grew up on Dixon Verner, which is South Dearborn.
Oh, it is super close, though. Yeah. Right. Yeah. You're super close. But I mean, that's such an inside baseball thing to know for Dearborn food. Like nobody knows Al Basha's. They're for subs.
Oh, yeah. You get the sub on the what is it? The sesame seed roll, and they got the white sauce on it, which is like a mayo garlic mixture. Mm-hmm. And got the grilled chicken, super melty cheese. Al Basha kicks ass.
They're pretty good, man. They are pretty good.
Yeah.
They used to have. I used to get like late night because they were one of the only spots in Dearborn that was like open really late. Totally. So I used to get a lot of late night food from those guys.
Oh yeah. We would get.
I love their burgers too. Were pretty good.
So drunk at like Saturday nights at like 1 a.m. We're like, let's get Al Basha. Let's just get Al Basha.
That's exactly what it's for. That's why it exists, I think.
All right, cool. So today you're going to make us just basically like a fun sandwich. What's all going to go in it roughly?
Well, I got some chicken thighs that I'm going to put in there. I'm grilling those up right now.
The dark meat only, for sure.
I know, man. Chicken thighs are just so much better. Chicken breast, I mean, I guess it has its place, but man, the thighs just make everything taste way better. So, like there's just no question, you know? Yeah, I love chicken thighs.
Yeah.
So I'm doing that. I'm frying those up with some garlic. I'm going to throw some lemon on there in a minute. After that, I think I'm going to do like kind of like a, I don't know, kind of caprese style ingredients. Like I'm going to do some, I got some tomatoes. I got some basil. I even got like, I got some burrata too. But like, I also got some other stuff that I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to use this or not, but I got some cress. I got some asparagus. I got some olives. I just like the options. I know I'm going to eat this stuff later anyway, so I'm like, whatever. I don't know what all is going to go into it. Oh, onion, of course. Oh yeah, basil. Yeah.
That's proper about a sandwich is like what's cool about a sandwich is you can literally just like you take your vehicle and you just make shit.
I know. It's like if you think about it, like some of the oldest, like most common foods that like have just carried on for so many years are all sandwich kind of related things. Like you have the wraps, from Middle Eastern countries, Mediterranean countries. You have tacos, which are basically sandwiches, which were created in Mexico in the for the silver miners, right? So that they could throw away the bread at the end. Same kind of thing with pasties, which like the Norwegians had, which in the UP, like the miners could have like that little piece of bread left. It's like that delivery vehicle of the bread is just like, it goes through so many cultures and all over the world. It's just amazing, And here we are making sandwiches out of stuff and like, creating our own version of this whole thing.
Yeah, dude. I so like for my idea today, I didn't really like have an idea coming into this today. But I had some thoughts, and I think what I'm going to do is I know for sure. So based off of our Dearborn conversation, I have
New Yasmin
right there. So
I can tell New Yasmin right away. Yep.
And then I also have just some sourdough here.
That's what I got.
The same sandwich, but in two different vehicles. So I'll do. I caramelized some onions, which I've got right here. That I'm just gonna show you kind of what's up here on these caramelized onions.
Awesome.
Yeah. You see this? It's like an onion jam.
Oh yeah. God, I just love that. I mean, I think onions are just like one of those things that like, I don't know, man, if I could live without onions. I mean, I guess I'd make do as long as I still like garlic, but Like,
I don't know how dogs do it. Dogs are allergic to onions, those poor things.
Oh, yeah. That's right. God. Yeah, cats too. Yeah, they can't have it.
Damn it, cats too. You hear that, Frank?
I was just looking to see if my cat had hopped up on the counter or something. He comes in here when I'm cooking sometimes.
All right, cool. Well, let's go to a quick commercial break, and then let's just start hacking out these sandwiches, huh?
All right. Sounds great.
All right, cool. All right, Sandwich Talk is sponsored by Casa Mara Club, a Detroit-based beverage from right here, non-alcoholic too. Inspired by the history and traditions of Italian Amaro, these Detroit-based beverages are balanced, buoyant, and food-friendly, highlighting the natural vibrancy of farmed ingredients. And with currently 4 varieties available, you can find them all over the United States today by checking out their website at casamaraclub.com. It's delicious. One thing that a lot of people don't know is that if you're ever hungover, drink yourself a Casa Mara Club. They don't want to advertise that because I don't think you're allowed to. But I'm going to do it because it's just it's my show. It's my show, and I can do whatever the hell I want. That's you, Mike.
Hell yeah.
All right, I'm going to get started on the sandwich. What I think I'm going to do first is I've got the caramelized onions. I've got some cheese that I picked up over at White Lotus Farms. Not sure if you're familiar with White Lotus, but everything that they do based out of Ann Arbor is incredible.
Nice.
It's like a really good, like Havarti kind of, little bit of like a raw milk, delicious, kind of heavier cheese. But I just wish that you could smell that. You see this boy?
Man, oh, that looks good.
It really is.
I think I've had one White Lotus cheese before, and it was really good. I can't remember what it was.
I'm just so happy with them. I mean, if you've ever been to Eastern Market on a Saturday, they have basically their whole line of fun stuff that they're doing there, including like microgreens. They do baked goods.
That sounds super familiar. Now I think I definitely have tried their stuff. Now that I think,
every week,
Eastern Market,
there's like a different croissant that they're doing too, based off of seasonal flavors. And
that's lovely.
They also are famous for doing a cronut. Which the cronut is the juiciest, greasiest, most ridiculous piece of dessert breakfast that you've ever had in your life.
I am not familiar with it.
It's a croissant donut mix.
Oh, okay. I don't think I've had that before.
So cronut, I think it was initially invented in New York. I'm not sure, but I know that that's where I heard of it first. And I mean, if you go to Eastern Market on a Saturday, you can go pick up a cronut from these guys. They've got like the chocolate one. I think they have a strawberry one, but my favorite one is actually the lemon one.
Okay. I do really like it. I do really enjoy lemon flavored desserts.
Well, yeah, dude. I mean, if you think about it, half of the breakfast cereals that are super desserty are lemon flavored.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, like we've got Fruity Pebbles. That's a lemon flavored dessert.
Yeah. You know, it's funny how. Did you ever hear this? That bubblegum flavor is actually banana flavor.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And if you eat bubblegum and you think of bananas, you will definitely taste it. It's odd though, because you would never think. It's like that. What is it? Dr. Pepper is. What's in Dr. Pepper again? That's like
23 different flavors.
But isn't there like, it's not figs. I can't remember.
That would not surprise me.
But there's something weird in there that you're like, oh yeah, that's in there. Wow.
I'm probably gonna race through this cheese, dude. I love this cheese.
I just love cheese so much. What's your favorite? What do you like the most with cheese? What's your favorite like styles, I guess?
Cheese. What's my favorite cheese?
I guess I'm asking you that.
Probably the funkier.
Oh yeah, I love the funky cheese too.
I like a good funky cheese.
Heck yeah.
Actually, so if you're available within the next few days here, or actually whenever now at this point, today is the first day of the launch of the new menu over at Kiesling. If you've never been to Kiesling before.
Never been.
It's basically a home bar for the service industry over in Milwaukee Junction, closer to like North End News Center.
Okay.
And is incredible cocktail bar, has been putting out some of the better cocktails in the city since they started doing it 2 years ago. And they never had really any kind of food there before. So myself and my friend John put together the kitchen program / like pop-up and event program there. And we're doing right now, starting today, you can get 2 different versions of a grilled cheese sandwich. And there we've got a Gruyere with like leeks and caramelized shallots. And then there's also a really good like cheese dip that we did with like Gruyere and brie, white wine, garlic, butter, lots of butter, tons of butter, a good amount of butter.
That sounds amazing.
Oh my God, dude. And you just dip the Anthony's chips right in that boy.
Hell yeah.
So for like $8, you get like a jar of this cheese to dip and a whole ass bag of Anthony's.
Wow. Nice. Yeah. I got to tell you, honestly, man, the Anthony's is like, I think they might be the best corn chips in Metro Detroit.
Seriously?
Like,
thank you.
For real. Like, they're so good. And I mean, my girlfriend loves corn chips. So, you know that I've bought a couple cases from you.
Yeah.
But yeah, like those, and actually the only reason that we haven't bought more is because she had a tooth issue, unrelated to the chips, by the way. But yeah, I mean, we've tried a lot of different brands of corn chips. And I mean, yeah, not even best in Metro Detroit. I mean, it's just like the best I've tried, and I've tried a lot. There's a certain flavor that Anthony's has that to me is like a little it just has a little bit more of a like really delicious corn flavor in there that other chips don't get that. They just don't approach that.
Thank you very much, man. That means a lot.
It's honest, and I wouldn't say it if it was. I would not say that if I wasn't completely 100% honest about it. So,
thank you very much, man. I pride myself on the simplicity of it. It's literally 4 ingredients, and I don't want to change the recipe. I think it's the way it is.
I don't think you should. It's amazing. I love it.
All right, so I'm buttering the shit out of a side of each one of these breads.
Oh yeah, I read something today that was like, butter is the essential sandwich ingredient. I love it. Butter is great.
I think I've used butter on every single one of these shows.
Damn. Well,
we can go back and we can rewatch every single show, but I'm pretty sure I've used butter, even unnecessarily, on every single one of these.
What do you mean unnecessarily? That's not like, even a thing. It's always necessary.
It doesn't need butter, but I put it on there anyway. Like a wrap doesn't need butter, but I sometimes like cook with butter. Like,
yeah,
and butter is. It's probably a problem, right?
Amazing. Oh, you know what I just got not too long ago? I finally got like a nice container of some really good lard for cooking.
Hell yeah!
I mean, I'm not using it today, but man, I should use it today. But a really good lard though. God, it's just so delicious, and it's not really like as bad for you as people think it is either. Mm-hmm. You know,
no,
people tend to think of it as just horrific for you, but it's not. What'd you say, Carlos? I'm sorry.
I said cooking with lard is nice.
Yeah, it can be really good.
All right, I am starting this boy up. I'm going to make 2 regular sandwiches, and then we're going to do that whole ass pita boy and see what that turns out like.
Nice. I'm doing 2 of mine because probably my girlfriend would be very sad if I didn't make her a sandwich out of this whole experience.
I'll make a sandwich for your girlfriend.
Yep, exactly.
When you have like a funky cheese, do you cut off the rind or do you keep it?
I usually cut it off. I mean, it just depends though, actually, because some rinds are good to eat. Like some people don't eat the brie rind, but the brie rind is totally 100% fine. If it's a wax rind, of course, I'm going to get rid of it. But if it's rennet, I'm going to eat it usually.
I just hit the shit out of this and it's great.
Yeah, hell yeah. I did also buy, I'm probably not going to use this in the sandwich, but I did buy the special cheese today at Whole Foods was a Casiago. So it's like an aged Gouda, which looks really delicious.
Casiago. Never heard of her.
I never heard of her either. Some of my favorites are the sharp cheeses.
Oh yeah.
I really enjoy like a very, very well-aged cheddar, super, super sharp cheddar. Oh, yeah. Man. Yeah.
All right, so let's see here. I've got we need to keep buttering bread. Let's just keep on buttering this bread. How are you doing with your sandwich so far? Walk me through what you got going on so far.
Well, you just made me eat a piece of this cheese.
That's great.
This is really good, man.
Turn up if you got cheese.
What'd you say?
I said turn up if you got cheese. Just eat it.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Hell yeah. Oh, it's so good. I didn't even know what this was like, but it's a very sharp aged Gouda, which is right in my wheelhouse. Awesome.
You got to know your ingredients, man.
So, all right, here's what I'm doing. I got some sliced red peppers, which I am like soaking in some balsamic. I threw some Italian spices on there. I got some sliced onions, some avocado. I got that burrata. I think the chicken is pretty much done, and it's looking pretty good.
Hell yeah!
I feel like I gotta show these things. I'm gonna take the camera.
Yeah, let's see it.
So the chicken's looking real nice. I don't want to drop this in the pan. Some nice color on that chicken there.
Oh, yeah. Crispy boys.
Yeah, that's the way I like it the most. Yeah. I really like just a little bit of that caramelization, that little, totally. Little burny flavor.
Also being tender and juicy too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, chicken's just great, right? So yeah, I think I'm going to I'm going to use the avocado as kind of a base layer. I think I'm going to throw on the chicken. I'm going to layer some onion, and I'm going to layer some red peppers. Then I'm going to put sliced burrata, and then I think maybe some whole leaf basil, and if they'll fit, olives.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. All right, get to doing it, man.
Yeah. All right.
I want to eat this. I want to
It's
dump
happening.
it out.
It's happening.
All right, so I got butter on these sides. I think what I want to do is I want to do cheese first as like a base layer, and then I'll do these hot ass caramelized onions. I'm gonna bring these caramelized onions over here so you can see it. Oh. There's not enough room here.
Yeah, I know. That's the problem with kitchens.
All right. I don't know if you can hear that, but that's my neighbor's baby.
What was that?
I said, I don't know if you can hear that, but that's my neighbor's baby.
Oh.
So the beauty about living in a Detroit apartment is that you could just hear everything.
Yeah, you really can.
Yeah. It is what it is. All right, so I've got on here these caramelized onion boys. This is a whole ass onion, and it's almost gone.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And then we're going to do this right here, more cheeses. All right, cool. Just like that. That's going on the old flat top. Ooh. Can you hear that sizzle?
Mm-hmm. Heck yeah.
Toss a little bit of water in there while we assemble the next one. All right, so we said cheese first.
I just toasted the bread.
Nice.
Got to do that. Avocado.
You slicing that boy up?
I'm mashing it.
Ooh.
I'm doing a mashed avocado spread.
All right. Okay.
And I was a little bit worried I wasn't going to be able to find.
You mash it.
What's that?
A little bit more structurally sound if you mash it.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. I'm going to mush it down a little bit.
I'm not
Make that avocado work.
Fuck it. I'll be fine. All right. Here we go. So this is numero dos. Fine. Everything's fine.
What happened?
Nobody saw that. It's okay.
Oh man, I just dropped a piece of avocado on the floor.
Yeah, it's not like you dropped bread though. Numero dos. Down on the flopper. Lots more water. Let that boy sizzle.
It is super interesting to cook and talk and like this whole thing on camera. I've never done like a food thing before, so it's super interesting to do this. Very cool experience.
Hard, huh?
It's wild because like usually I don't ever have to think about making it so that I can make sense with what I'm saying and presenting this thing that I'm making as well.
No, totally. Yeah, no, it's really hard. It's like, because like sometimes, especially like for me, like I'm the host of this show. So I'm trying to be as like entertaining and engaging with not just myself and the guest, but also for the audience as possible.
Yeah.
While also trying to make something that, in my opinion, will be delicious. Now, will anyone think it's delicious? Who fucking cares? I'm the only one eating it.
Right. We could always just pretend that these are delicious sandwiches if they're not.
I've made everything that I've made so far, with the exception of I think like one sandwich, has been dynamite, and I would put it on a menu. Like one sandwich that I made, I was like, it's okay.
Just okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking about you earlier, and I was like, man, how every single week do you come up with something to do like sandwich wise? That's a heck of a challenge.
You're telling me, dude. Like I've made a lot of sandwiches at this point, and like
I
was
bet.
asked earlier, what'd you make last time? I have no idea what I made last episode. Not a clue. Honestly, I don't remember. And it's like I really have to think about like what I make according to like I guess like I could base it off of the guest, but I've never really done that. Like I've just kind of said like, what do I want to eat, or like what's in the fridge, or like, like this is based off of like what I kind of already had and what I was in the mood for, which is like a French onion soup.
Nice.
So the way that I'm doing this one now is I am literally just chopping up the rest of this cheese. I've got some Oaxaca in the fridge too.
Nice.
And I'm going to put some Oaxaca in here. I'm going to put some of the end of the Gruyere. Oh, shit. I got to flip this one.
This is looking good here. I got this. I got the roasted garlic on the mashed avocado. That's just the basic starting layer there. But roasted garlic that roasted with the or fried with the chicken.
You said roasted garlic, avocado. What else you got going on over there?
Well, I got the chicken, and I got the whole leaf basil. I got onions. I got red peppers. Oh yeah, it's starting to come together now.
Oh yeah,
this is nice.
I don't know if you can see this little technique that I got going on over here, but I'm literally taking a finger of butter and just scraping it across the plate.
Nice. I've told kids that I like, like if I, my kid or other kids that I've cooked with before or for before, I'm like, what is the most important tool in the kitchen? And they always take weird guesses about what the most important thing is, but I'm always like, it's your hands. Your hands are the most important tool.
100%.
Yep. You can't do anything without them.
Oaxaca. Oh yeah, it's over here. God, there's so much going on right now, Mike.
I know.
God, I'm trying to host a damn show here. I'm just making a grilled cheese. It's literally like a French onion soup inspired grilled cheese, and
That's such a fantastic concept. I love that.
Well, I mean, we'll see. Who knows if it's actually any good? All right, so I'm mixing
I'm fairly certain it's going to be delicious.
Yeah. Let's see here. I'm just chopping.
Oh yeah, I had a sandwich that you made one time at the pop-up that you had at what you call it, 8 Degrees Plato in Detroit.
Oh, I did a sandwich there?
Yeah, you did. I can't remember what it was. Was it a quesadilla maybe something?
I have no idea, dude.
Well, it was just I remember eating it and going like, "Yep, Carlos knows what he's doing. This is fucking delicious." I'm sorry, I swore. Should I not swear on your show?
I've already sworn like 3 times on the show. So.
Okay, good. I sometimes just don't notice.
The only person that I would need to apologize would be to you because you're the
Well, fucking go for it, Carlos. You can swear as much as you want.
Yeah, you're the one I need to impress here. No,
you don't need to impress me.
All right, let's see here. So aside from Sandwich Talk, which is the greatest show on the Planet Ant Network, we all know.
Correct.
What is your favorite show on the Planet Ant Network?
Besides Sandwich Talk, huh?
Besides Sandwich Talk.
Man, I don't know. Can I really choose all of these beautiful babies?
I know, dude.
Hey, I'm a big fan of a lot of the shows that we have going on. I mean, the favorite thing is always a tough question to answer because favorites to me are like, man, some days certain things are my favorite, some days other things are my favorite.
Right?
Favorite is like such a crazy modifier.
Talk to me about Hungry as a Horse.
Oh, okay.
Let's
well,
for a second.
Jeff Horst, he's a stand-up comic. He started out as a local guy, and he became kind of nationally known. Moved out to LA, and he's still friends with the Planet Ant. him and his partner Esther, and Esther, they're both excellent people, lovely people, and they both they make food every week.
Yeah.
And it's different, much different than your show. Their food is kind of like a fly by the seat of your pants, kind of like regular person's grocery store kind of experience food thing. I don't want to be dismissive of it because I feel like that type of thing is really cool too. And they're also vegan, right? Aren't they vegan? I think they're vegan. But they're not like, they're not the bad vegans. They're the good vegans.
Bad.
I don't know. Did you ever meet a vegan that wouldn't shut up about being a vegan?
Well, yeah.
No, but I mean, 99.9% of vegans are great people.
It's just like meeting somebody who's like heavily into working out. Like they only talk about working out.
CrossFit, for example.
Yeah. People. I got friends that are CrossFit folks.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, they love CrossFit. All right, so I'm gonna cut this. Oh my god!
Boy, I think I have to be done with this. It's getting too tall.
Holy shit! This looks so good.
Oh yeah! Heck yeah, that looks great.
It's dripping. Oh.
All right, I'm cutting my first one here.
Oh my god! All right, I'm gonna wrap one of these up for the to go for my sidekick over here.
Maybe I no.
Who is calling me with an unknown name? If you're calling me with an unknown name, I don't want to talk to you. I'm sorry. If I don't know you, then we don't need to talk. You can leave me a voicemail. What the hell is a 506 area code anyway? Holy shit,
That looks pretty good.
That's like it's got everything in it.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Right. Mostly an Italian type of thing, but the avocado kind of takes it on a little bit of a departure, I think.
So this is for my partner in crime, who is leaving me shortly here. All right, cool. I got you a to-go sandwich.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's super nice.
It's not for you, Poppy. I'm sorry. Everybody wants to say hi to Poppy. This is Poppy. Say hi.
Oh, hi, Poppy.
Hi.
What a cute dog.
Yeah, she's the best.
Very nice.
All right. Oh, shit.
I got to give my hands one more little rinse, and I'll be right back.
All right. Let's hear. This boy is getting crispy. Dang. Go. Hell yeah. All right. That's looking good shit. Also rinsing my hands here. All right. I'm pretty stoked. I think this has turned out okay. For being a French onion soup kind of day, I wanted a French onion sandwich, and I think that's what we got.
Nice.
Mike, let's switch over real quick. You got your sandwich ready. I want to, real quick, because it's tradition on the show, we need to do an Aunt E's snack break. Let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, so I got the Aunt E's chips. I got some sauce. My second sandwich is cooking right now. Here we go. I got that old Aunt E's medium. My favorite of the sauces.
Your favorite is the medium?
My favorite's the medium, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's good. I mean, I liked them all, but I feel like was it pineapple? That one?
Mango.
Oh, mango. That's right. Yeah, that was good. Hi, Zed. This is my brother's cat, Zed, that's yelling at us right now. Let's see if I can show him. Zed? Are you there?
Hi.
Where is he? Oh, is he? There he is. He's a funny, weird cat. He loves to yell. He just loves to yell. It inspired me to subscribe to the subreddit, Cats Who Yell.
I didn't even know that was a subreddit.
Yeah, I know. I didn't even know either. So my brother told me about it.
All right. Sick. All right, my pan is covered in butter, but I think we're ready. Good. All right, we got. Okay, so this is. Holy shit! Oh, real quick note about Aunt Nee's. If you've never heard of it before, check us out at antnees.com. Check us out on social media. We're available all over Michigan, no matter what store, no matter what place. If we don't have Aunt Nee's right now, ask that store. Just tell them, yo, pick up Aunt Nee's. They'll be like, what the hell is that? And then you show them. And then they'll be like, okay.
And then eventually they'll be like, thank you.
Yeah. I'd like to hope so. In my opinion, it's the best chips and salsa you can find in Metro Detroit.
Really, it is.
That's my opinion.
I agree. I agree with you.
Biased. All right. So, Mike, if you want to give us a rundown of what you have layer by layer and then take a bite and let me know what you think.
All right. Let's see here. All right. So here we go. Whoops. So first layer, we got ourselves some avocado. And then I laid out the garlic that cooked in the pan with the chicken. And then underneath that, I got the red peppers, which I doused in some balsamic and some spice, or some herbs, I mean. And then threw down some white onion, which I sliced real thin. And then laid down the burrata, which is basically like a fresh mozz, kind of. It's similar to just a fresh mozz. And then, of course, I put the chicken down there too. I forgot to say that. And then finally, the whole basil leaves with nice and big to top it off. The bread, of course, was toasted. And that's it. I'm going to take a bite of this. This thing looks great. Let's see. Mm.
That looks so good.
Oh, that's really good. I never would have made this if it wasn't for you, Carlos.
Yeah. Inspiration right over here. All right, cool. Well, I got my sandwich here. I got two different versions. First one is the old standard in a sourdough. So this right here, if you can see what we got going on, we have a Havarti cheese with extremely caramelized, jammy type onions with an extremely buttery bread. And I'm just going to take a bite of this one first. Cheese so stinky. Really good. It's giving me the vibe that I want of the French onion soup.
That's good.
Caramelize these onions for 2 hours. That's how you know they're caramelized.
Most people think braised onions are just caramelized onions, but you do have to put the time in, right? I mean, you can't hurry caramelized onions.
That's so good, dude.
Oh, God, I just love caramelized onions.
So this version now is in like Yasmin Bakery bread. I buttered the bottom with my hands. And I'm going to fold it like a taco. And I'm just going to eat it there. You can see the inside is just pouring out. Oh my God.
That's great.
I put Oaxaca cheese in here, dude. Whoa.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
There's, the additional cheese because we didn't have enough cheese. You know,
There's never enough cheese.
No, so good. It's so hot. These onions are perfect.
I'm jealous of your caramelized onions, but I'm also just incredibly pleased with what turned out here.
What you made looks so good, dude.
Oh, man. I love balsamic vinegar.
Low-key, great topping in the sandwich. Or anything. Like what you were saying earlier about like how sandwiches, they surpass cultural ethnocentricities. Like they're ethnocentricities. That everybody loves and has a sandwich, and no matter what kind of sandwich you have, everybody's going to eat a sandwich, no matter where you are. So it's cool about like how I just made basically the same sandwich, 2 different breads, and it could be made on either culture.
Yeah, totally.
And what you made with balsamic vinegar, like balsamic vinegar is used across the board, but also the majority of those other ingredients are used across the board.
It's true. Yeah. The only it's funny because it was pretty much Italian except for the avocado, which man, great though. It turned out great.
Mm-hmm. My God, it's so good. So happy with it.
Mm.
All right, so before I become fat and eat the rest of these, I need to talk to you about what we've got going on at the Ant. How everybody needs to find out more about like what you've got going on, what we've got going on as a team. How do we just find out more? How do we learn? How do we experience? And if we want to become a part of it, how do we get in contact with you?
Great question. Hold on. So if you're interested in the Planet Ant and what we're doing, definitely give us a follow on YouTube. That's probably, where you're going to get notified of a lot of things that pop up on our channels. Facebook is also a really good avenue as well. Follow us on Facebook. We generally tend to post the most on Facebook. That's kind of the current climate where the most people are on the internet, I guess, is Facebook. So that's where we are. And on there, that's where we post a lot of different things information-wise about, classes, about what's going on at the Ant. In addition to that, check out the website, planetant.com. Check us out on there. Subscribe to our email list. We do tend to send out emailers as well. So you're absolutely able to get in touch with us in a lot of different digital ways. Heck, maybe we'll be even sending out paper mailers again soon. I don't know.
Oh,
yeah, like back in the old, Xeroxed flyers.
dude, let's get Sailor Shop flyers sent to people's homes. I'm totally down for that.
I mean, sometimes for some people, that's all it works, really.
Remember in the 90s where you would open up your door and you would always have like two things
at least
to your door?
Yeah, totally. Man, you're eating you're talking about the new Yasmin pita bread, and I just like had this memory of being a kid because, we get the pita bread a lot, and sometimes like, other bread would run out or whatever, and so we'd have just the pita bread, and then it was like, I really want a peanut butter and jelly as a kid, and what do? You have to use the pita. So it's like there's so many different ways that I was just talking to my brother about this the other day. Like there's so many different ways that you can make a peanut butter and jelly on a pita. Like, do you roll it? I've done that before. That's pretty good. Do you separate the sides of it? So you do the peanut butter and jelly in the middle and then just kind of fold it in half. Mm-hmm. Or, do you cut it into triangles and then like make little mini sandwiches? But, it's just funny to think like, being immersed in Arab culture as a kid, it like kind of forced us to kind of like look at things in a different way.
Totally, dude. A
lot of food stuff is like so
bread into pieces. I would cut up the Syrian bread into pieces and then put globs of peanut butter and jelly on the plate. And then just like hummus and tabbouleh and everything else, you just dig into it, like grip and rip,
Yes, that's an excellent way to go. Love it.
Arabic PB&J, boom.
Hell yeah.
Good. I love this.
That's fantastic.
I
am super happy with this as well.
I have to thank you personally, dude. Seriously, a year and a half ago, I heard from you personally about you guys were starting the Planet Ant Podcast Network. Looking for possible show ideas. I had started doing the podcast 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, just for funsies. And it didn't really take off because the studio that I was working out of, unfortunately, got shut down. So I didn't really have a way of doing the show anymore. And I came to you with the idea of bringing back the show, and you were 100% for it. You said, if you want to do it, do it.
Mm-hmm.
And you personally gave me the opportunity to put myself out there and start doing the show on the Planet Ant Network. And in the same way, at the beginning of COVID, you personally said, if you want to do this from your house in a way that we've never done before, do it. Let's talk about the idea and make it happen. And you were the one that drove this idea here today. So thank you so much for that, man.
Man, thank you. I mean, that's all I want to do is help people do this stuff, I love it. And it means a lot that you appreciate that.
I really do. I really do. I appreciate every opportunity that the Ant has given me because, to be honest with you, I've worked pretty hard to always want to do the things that I've been able to do at the Ant. I've always wanted to do improv, stand up, just being part of a community that's into that kind of stuff. And I never had that. I mean, I did like a little improv class when I was a kid. Never really even learned too much. But it wasn't until I dove into the full class of from beginning, intermediate until the end, and how I felt about it, and how I understood what it is to understand people and play with other people and learn from other people. And that's the shit.
Yeah, it really is.
To then break out and start doing other things. And because of that, because of like Darren introducing me to a couple of different ideas and people saying, hey, there's a food show that wants to start doing this thing, I became the host of that show. And there's another opportunity because of what they saw there, and I became the host of another thing. And now I'm hosting this show. And it's so many things that I feel like if it wasn't for the Planet Ant, if it wasn't for you, if it wasn't for the community that you and everybody else has helped grow and maintain and build from and then create another level of, I wouldn't be where I am. I wouldn't be doing the things that I'm doing. And I want to make sure that everybody seeing this today understands that you can do anything that you want. And the Planet Ant is going to encourage you to do so. And
well, within reason.
Fair.
Your imagination can run wild when you say anything you want, but yes,
well, I mean,
I 100%. 100% seriously. Like, yes, you have an idea. As long as you're not a Nazi or it's weird sex stuff, you're pretty much good to go.
But there's a market for weird sex stuff otherwise. So
yeah, it's absolutely true. Absolutely, yeah. Weird sex stuff has no problem selling online. So.
All right, cool. So in terms of social media, how do we talk to you? How do we follow you? Is there any certain way that we can maybe just communicate with you in terms of classes or online digital things?
Well, mainly right now, I mean, I haven't really been on Facebook too much. It's just like felt so freaking weird before, during, and after the election that I'm just kind of like, yikes. I'm not really been that into it. But I mean, hey, if you have anything that you are interested in doing at the Planet Ant, you can Facebook message me. I will respond to those. You can also email me at mikemcg@planetant.com. That's my Planet Ant email address.
Can you say it again? It cut off.
Oh, sure. Mike McG. So it's Mike MCG@planetant.com. Cool. That's the email for Planet Ant. So yeah, I mean, I'd love to hear from people. I love to hear ideas. There is a form that can be filled out if you're interested in doing a show, and that's available. I mean, it's available on Facebook. It's available online, I think, is on the website as well. I'm not sure exactly all the places that it is because we just started promoting it. So, but it's accessible. And hey, if you can't find it, message me. I'll shoot it over to you. Oh, yeah. And we're also very open to like helping people grow their ideas as well. Like you have something you want to do and you're not even quite sure how to make it happen. I mean, this is what we do. We've been making comedy. We've been making shows for decades in Detroit. We are kind of like, we've been doing this a real long time. We love doing it. And there's a lot of people that work in the industry that work in all sorts of aspects of the industry, whether it's music or comedy or straight acting or filmmaking or whatever it is. We really have the resources to make a lot of those types of things happen. So hit us up.
That's the coolest thing is like, I took acting classes for a little while and I was doing, certain things like commercial work and a few other things here and there, but nothing ever felt right until I got to Planet Ant and started taking and learning how to hone those skills from acting and then put an audience behind it and allow myself and other people to play in terms of creativity and understanding. So thank you for that. And I encourage everybody to do the same. Like, you can fucking do this.
Yeah, exactly. Carlos, I used to be a person that was pretty like isolated when I was in my mid-20s. And I really spent a lot of time wishing I was doing the sort of things that I'm doing nowadays. I mean, I spent like at least a couple of years just kind of feeling like I was never going to be able to do the things that I felt like I really wanted to do because of my own fears. And I let my own fears get in the way of my own progress in life. And it was only through starting to take those classes and finding a lot of like-minded people that made me go like, oh my God, like this is a possibility. I mean, I can make this happen. And
Oh, yeah.
talking to the other people that I met in the community, it was like, wait a minute, these people are actually getting my jokes. They're not just pretending to. They're weird like I'm weird. I'm loving it, you know? So,
there's a market for people like us, folks.
yeah.
You're weird. I'm weird. We're all weird. Everybody knows I'm weird. But you know what, Mike? You're my kind of weird. And I like that.
Yeah, you're my kind of weird too, Carlos.
Oh, yeah. All right, cool. Well, let's go ahead and say I want to make sure that I thank a lot of different people. Of course, the music that you've heard of the podcast right now, that's Push Caratella and Lobby Time, both by a guy named Kevin McLeod. I want to thank Parker Hammond, who's been part of the show and helped bring it up to where it is today. I want to thank Zach Bridges, my producer on the original podcast. Hopefully we'll bring that back sometime. I don't know if I can do this show and the other show at the same time, but we'll see. Maybe it's 1 week there, 1 week here. I don't know. We'll figure that out. I want to thank Darren, Mike, everybody else that's part of the family of Planet Ant that's helped bring everything to where we are today in terms of the Planet Ant to where it is. And then, of course, every other content creator that's a part of the Planet Ant network, every other person that stood up on stage and poured their heart out and been, terrified to do so, but still did it. Thank you to everybody that's done that. I want to thank my mailman, Carl Malone, my chief, Miles O'Brien, as always. And, of course, I want to thank every single one of you guys for checking us out because you know what? You don't have to do this, but for some strange reason, you decided to stay till the end, so I'm going to thank you anyway. For everybody here, including me, Frank, Poppy, and Mike, I want to thank everybody. I hope you guys got hungry. Happy sandwich. Here's the theme music that you've been hearing. Goodbye.